game, cause see the boxing voice.
Welcome back, gang, for the first time and hopefully many more to come. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and click on the notifications right here, this little bell, so you can get those emails every time we go live. Peace.
Yeah, I'm actually training in Glenn Tapia's gym.
Stop playing.
Yeah, I had one fight, I'm going to have another in January.
You look good.
Thank you, thank you. Rolling? BoxingVoice.com live here with Headbangers trainer himself, Barry Hunter, trainer of Lamont Peterson, Anthony Peterson. He's worked with Adrian Broner, so many others. I mean, you've let everybody know you work with Earl, but anybody that's followed the 2012 Olympians know you've been doing that. You know, you've been in this situation before. Lamont facing the boogeyman, so to speak, of the division. When he was at 140, we've seen him do this with Lucas Matisse. It feels like Lamont always has to take on the challenge of the division first.
You know, ever since we've been involved in boxing, we never discriminate, number one. Number two, we didn't get in this game to hand pick out fights. If you say you are the best, and I know Lamont is one of the best, then you have to fight the best in order to validate that, in my opinion. We thought it was going to be Keith Thurman. We thought it was going to be a rematch against Danny. We even looked at Lucas Matisse again. We wanted that fight again, and Timothy Bradley. There was one more. I can't think of who it is right now. There was one more, Kell Brook. And it was supposed to be Lamont Kell, but again, that fight was turned down. We okayed it. We didn't get okay from that end, and Earl ended up fighting. So it just left them two standing. You know, and like I said, because of our history together, you know, Lamont knew that the belt he had won was the end to Keith Thurman. That was our purpose. And once we didn't get that, it was either we fight some of the best or we end up fighting, you know, a mandatory or something like that there. It didn't make sense to it. Not at this level and not at his stage in his career.
Now, obviously, you know, a lot of people have made note of how the style matchups are going to mesh in the ring. We've seen Lamont be a body puncher in that Lamont Peterson fight versus Amir Khan. Beautiful inside work. Kendall Holt, he did it in his hometown. Beautiful inside work. But is the smart thing to be on the inside with Earl, who's naturally the bigger man, Lamont being, you know, the man that's coming up a few divisions now? He started his career at a lower division. It
will, you know us. We, you know, tend to make adjustments as the fight go along. You may start off thinking one way, you know, and then next thing you know, that opponent may give you something else and you have to make an adjustment. So it all depends on what's brought to the table. I think it's going to be more strategic early on, my way of thinking. And somewhere in that fight, it's going to end up a dog fight. It's going to end up a war. One of the reasons why I liked Earl so much when he was younger was his mentality and his will to win. And I wasn't lying when I talked about the France thing. And the same thing in sparring sessions. We've never lost a fight together, be it foreign or domestic. And he's always come through, and I liked him. He reminded me so much of my boys, and we've been tight ever since. So I think that, again, my way of thinking is that it may start off strategically, end up a war. It could go from one above as a war. You feel me? That's the type of two guys you have in this ring on January 20th.
I understand the style matchups could lead to that. As a fight fan, I don't think that's the best style for Lamont to go after in this fight, being as though the Earl is the bigger man. I was hoping he'd do what he did in the Danny fight. I know he didn't get the credit from the judges, but I'm sure you felt Lamont won the Danny fight. There's a lot of people that felt he won it based on boxing, ring generalship, the way he moved around made Danny miss. Isn't that probably the better thing to do with a bigger puncher, a bigger man in Earl?
Think about the closing of that fight. So you're right. You know, every aspect of the scoring, you know, you saw Lamont do that night. But, you know, that's gone. We can't get that back. We're not the judges. We're going to do our fighting, and that's all we can do. As far as this fight is concerned, sometimes it's calming and out of the storm, you know, so you never know. You know, the damage may be even more so on the outside of it. So it all depends on that night and what's brought to the table. Because, again, they got a nice team. You know, you heard Derek. I got a lot of love and respect for him, and he is a person that take the craft serious. That's me. And in Earl's case, Earl is just like Lamont was, constantly in the gym, constantly training, constantly trying to get better. So I may go out. We may go out and start boxing early. And if we have to war, then we'll war. If the situation is so that we can box and do what we do, then of course, naturally, we box first, fight last. But if that's not the case, then you do what you need to do.
Now, you spoke of, you know, Lamont and Errol both staying in the gym, being gym rats. Is that going to help with the inactivity? Because it seems like, you know, on the outside, obviously, you know your fighter better than everyone else, but on the outside, he has the couple of chips stacked against him, being the man moving up, and also now having inactivity. You know, it's going on almost a year that since he's fought.
Like Lamont said, Lamont been doing this thing over 20-some odd years. I mean, when you look at people like Floyd, how long Floyd been out, you know, since he fought? You know what I mean?
He took an 18-month layoff, came right back versus a top 5 guy.
How long did Lamont stay out before he beat David Avanesyan? So
took a long layoff.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So, you know, for the most part, they know what to do. You know, of course, we would like to fight. If we had our way, we'd be fighting every month. But that's not realistic. So, therefore, considering the work that we have in the gym and the work that we get on the regular, we constantly in the ring, you know, and so a layoff might not be that bad, you know what I mean, because you think about all the sparring, you think about all your exercise and the stuff you go through tearing your body down. Your body needs time to rest, and that's anybody. I mean, the human body wasn't designed to be taking this type of punishment in the first place. So if you constantly in the ring fighting every other month or every 3 months, how much, and then you're on top of that, your sparring and your work in the gym, how much damage are you taking? So I think just the opposite. I think the rest, a lot of times, do them good.
So has he gotten a good amount of rest? Do you feel he can be a bit rejuvenated, so to speak?
I think so. I think so. Thus far, you know, we hadn't really ramped all the way up thus far. But, of course, you know, Lamont, you could take Lamont in the gym today versus whomever, put him in there, and he'll turn around and go 20 rounds, 15 rounds, or, you know, whatever it takes. How much more you want? I'm cool. How much do you need? And that's the type of fighter this is, you know what I mean? And he leave, for the most part, without a scratch on him.
You spoke about the work that he gets in the gym. Do the sparring partners specifically mean something, or is it just making sure that he is getting consistent sparring? Meaning, do you have to bring in high-level southpaws to mimic Errol, or is just sparring good enough to keep your fighter in shape for Errol?
Yes and no. This particular time, we brought people in, and we're bringing more in. But for the most part, you know, throughout, you know, his career, you know, we had so many different styles in the gym. Big fighters, short, smaller fighters, fast fighters, fighters that can bang, fighters that can box, southpaws, right-handers, clumsy fighters, you know, and or awkward fighters, shall I say. So we've always, and like you said, during the amateurs, in the amateurs, a lot of people fought with southpaws in the amateurs, you know, international competition. So I don't think that there will be a lot of stuff that Lamont hasn't seen yet in this game.
Do you think Lamont can shock the world, right? Because obviously they have Errol as the darling, right? Even you said he's the future. So, I mean, can Lamont at least put a halt to that for the meantime?
Absolutely. You know what I mean? Yes, EJ is the future. That's what's to come. You know what I mean? We're talking about present time now. And you're looking at a young lion versus an old lion. I won't call him old, but a veteran lion. Both of them are dogs. You've seen Lamont fight before. The world's seen him fight before. He can fight inside, outside. He can box with the best of them, or he can bang with the best of them. I think this time he has to be more cerebral. When you think about, like Michael Jordan, for example, when he first came out, all these high-flying moves, and, you know, I mean, he did everything. But when he became older, he took his game on the outside, shooting the jumper. So, he, you know, he perfected the jump shot, you know, dishing the ball more. So it's just about making adjustments to your game.
Well, Barry, I want to thank you, obviously, for your time, and wish you the best of luck come January 20th. Like you guys said, going to be looking for a dog fight. Hopefully Lamont turns it into a boxing match and we get a rematch out of this one, right?
Hey, man, look, I'm down for it. Like I said, you know, you got these hungry lions out here. You got Errol, and him and Lamont, they're going to step up to anybody, but still, Keith Thurman is out there. Danny Garcia is out there. You know, you got all these dudes out there. I say turn them all loose.
Turn them loose. That's what the boxing fans definitely want. Barry Hunter, thank you so much.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you, man.
Well, you looking good, though.
You
man.
do, too.
Game, cause see the boxing voice.